Welcome to Creating Wealth with Jason Hartman. During this program, Jason is going to tell you some really exciting things that you probably haven't thought of before, and a new slant on investing. Fresh new approaches to America's best investment that will enable you to create more wealth and happiness than you ever thought possible. Jason is a genuine, self-made multimillionaire who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk. He's been a successful investor for 20 years and currently owns properties in 11 states and 17 cities. This program will help you follow in Jason's footsteps on the road to financial freedom. You really can do it. And now, here's your host, Jason Hartman, with the complete solution for real estate investors.
Welcome to the Creating Wealth Show. This is episode number 169. Today we'll talk with Yanik Silver, who is a huge guru in terms of internet marketing, especially affiliate marketing. Maybe you want to just sort of wrap things up by talking about the offerings and what has been really successful. I mean, is it products? Is it PDFs? Is it audios? Is it the combination? Is it coaching programs? Is it like inner circle type programs? What have you been able to move the best, and what have affiliates been able to move the best?
I think it's less about what the format is and more about what's the big promise, what is it going to help people do. And so when I'm consulting with students and helping them develop what they want to do, we typically start simpler. And the simplest is a lot of times an ebook, which is a PDF file, and maybe a couple bonuses, which are also PDF files. And then we move into maybe a more robust kind of back-end product where it's a three-ring binder combined with maybe a DVD or two and some other audios or something like that, so then it becomes a whole multimedia info product. And then after that, it might move into some sort of event where it's a webinar or a teleseminar series, and then possibly a live event where it could be coaching related, it could be just a live event, multiple people. It all depends. I mean, it's almost like you have this buffet in front of you, and you want to pick and choose the right format for how you want to get the ultimate benefit for your customer. And so, one of the big things I believe in is I wrote back in 1998 when I kind of started this upward trajectory of becoming successful was I wrote, I become rich by enriching others 10 times to 100 times what they pay me in return. And so that's one of the things I'm always thinking about is how do we create that 10 times to 100 times value for the product? So even if it's a $40 or $20 ebook, I want to make sure that it's worth at least $200 or $400 for the person and value. And so, once again, if your questions dictate your answers, so then it becomes, okay, well, what's the bonus that I can provide that's going to be worth it here? And even at where we've sold seminars for as high as $10,000 a person, we've sold peer-to-peer advisory groups for $20,000. We've had other products for even more than that, and I'm always thinking in that value proposition. So that's where my head is around based on what am I going to deliver to the end user.
Got to deliver that value, no question about it. And that's the great things about info products. You can really deliver a much higher value than the cost. I mean, the value could be, if it's used and used properly, way out of proportion to the cost. It could be thousands or even millions of times what it actually costs.
Yeah, and that is exciting. And at the same time, whatever people are selling product service-wise, they could be incorporating some sort of info product component to it that then increases the value. Or even thinking outside the box, I hate that term a lot, but thinking outside the box a little bit, and who else would want to provide me with products or services that would be interesting to my marketplace that can then increase that value. So, we talked about the Maverick Business Adventures group, which is a really high-level group, but we have companies that are out there. One company just gave us a $2,500 concierge membership because they want those customers, and so that increases the value of our membership just like that, and it costs me $0.
Right, exactly. And so do you actually, as part of your business, market other people's products on their affiliate program in any big way, or is that just an occasional occurrence?
Yeah, it's an occasional thing. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm really selective about what we promote and sell to our list, because I look at it as almost a fiduciary kind of responsibility where it's pretty quick to lose a reputation that you've gained in the marketplace by putting out crap or by by being someone that gets on every single promotion or launch bandwagon. So for me, it's usually about either knowing that person extremely well and knowing that they only put out incredibly quality material, or B, checking out the product really thoroughly and making sure it's something that my customers or members are going to really want.
In closing, what else do you want people to know?
I think just going back to this notion of it's kind of the best of times and it's the worst of times, and that there really is an amazing opportunity out there, because for just a little bit of money, you can put yourself on par with a lot of multinational firms, but at the same time, pretty much anyone else can as well. And so it's just always thinking about how can I be of more value to my customer or subscriber. So putting the right questions in the forefront of your mind, I think, is pretty important. Deciding how you want to play. I mean, are you going to do this for real, or are you going to do it just getting started by moonlighting, which I think is actually probably one of the easiest ways of doing it. So don't quit your job. Don't go full bore unless you really want to, but just try a couple things and throw them out there as quick as possible. I'm a huge believer in getting those things out in front of the marketplace. So set a deadline. Sometimes even embarrass yourself if you have to by setting a deadline and making yourself hold tight to that. I mean, my very first product that I created was kind of around that, where we had the sales letter written. I had an outline for the product, and then I waited until we got an order, and I sent back a letter telling the doctor, hey, this product's going to be republished, and you'll get it within 30 days, and we're not going to charge your card until then. So then I had a 30-day deadline on myself to get the product out there and finish. So sometimes you need that external motivation.
Yeah, and you need to make it public so that people are holding you accountable, right?
Right, yeah, and so even to this day, I still do that stuff where I wanted to start this Maverick Business Adventures thing for quite a while, and I literally stuck up on my blog and mailed that out to our 100,000-plus subscribers. I said, hey, hold me to this. I said, January 2008, we're going to have our very first trip, and I don't know anything about the travel industry. There's the insurance regulations, and it's a whole different business. I didn't know what kind of business celebrity icon we're going to bring in and so forth. But when you hold yourself out to it and kind of that silly saying that when you leap, the net will appear, well, I firmly believe in that, and that happens. We brought Jesse James in, who's a pretty astute guy from West Coast Choppers and over $200 million in licensing of his brand, and so we brought him in as our guest, and all that stuff just never would have happened. And then what we talked about originally, the creative byproducts, you never know where that's going to lead to next.
Well, hey, thank you so much for sharing your insights with our listeners today. We really appreciate it. And internetlifestyle.com is your blog. There's some interesting stuff there. I was looking at you by Spaceship One.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Spaceship 2.
Spaceship 2, okay. Did you buy a ride on it? I know they've been selling tickets for about $200,000.
Yes, number 144.
Exciting. So you're going to be in zero G for a few minutes, huh?
Exactly, yeah. That's definitely, I have a big life list of stuff that I want to do, and I actually recommend that to every entrepreneur or anyone that I meet, and it helps keep you going forward, and that was on my list, is going to space. And so when this came up as an opportunity, I plunked my money down 2 years ago to be one of the first people.
Fantastic.
And it's pretty darn exciting now that I was just there last week when they unveiled the Spaceship 2, which is the actual first commercial space rocket ship, and it's pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool. Well, I can't wait to hear all about that, and that's just awesome. It's on the bucket list. So good stuff, Yanik. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate having you on.
Okay, thanks, Jason.
Have you listened to the Creating Wealth series? I mean, from the beginning. If not, you can go ahead and get Book 1, that shows 1 through 20, in digital download. These are advanced strategies for wealth creation. For more information, go to jasonhartman.com. Copyright the Hartman Media Company. For publication rights and interviews, please email media@jasonhartman.com. This show offers very general information concerning real estate for investment purposes. Opinions of guests are their own. Jason Hartman is acting as president of Platinum Properties Investor Network exclusively. Nothing contained herein should be considered personalized, personal, financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. Every investor's strategy and goals are unique. You should consult with a licensed real estate broker or agent or other licensed investment, tax, and/or legal advisor before relying on any information contained herein. Information is not guaranteed. Please call 714-820-4200 and visit www.jasonhartman.com for additional disclaimers, disclosures, and questions.